Have you punched your mother in the face?
No.
Yes.
They're lying to you. He's lying to you. She's lying to you. You just want me to keep on pushing pills down my throat.
You were in jail 7 months.
You were so drunk you didn't remember a damn thing. We could ask my older sister.
She wasn't there.
I was 16 years old. I'm not finished. What is wrong with your brain?
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Thank you very much. All right, I want you to meet 18-year-old Tyler. She's a very pleasant-looking, nice young lady, right? What if I told you that in the last 2 years, 18-year-old Tyler has been arrested 10 times, has had the police called on her at least 30 times for altercations with her own family? Now, her parents, Stacy and Dan, say they've had to file multiple orders of protection against Tyler for the safety of themselves and their other 2 children. Now, trouble with the law finally caught up with her in January 2017, and Tyler spent 7 months in jail for violating her probation because she beat up her friend. But since getting out of jail, her parents say Tyler's out-of-control behavior has only gotten worse. Now, Stacy and Dan say their daughter Tyler is refusing to take any medication or seek any treatment for any mental health disorders that she may have. Now, according to 18-year-old Tyler, treating her mental health is just, quote, not something she wants to do right now. Now, Stacy and Dan say Tyler is a rageaholic who has punched holes in the wall, broken windshields, and even punched her mom in the face. Oh, and one more thing, she's 7 weeks pregnant. Take a look.
My daughter Tyler is a rageaholic. She has extreme anger inside of her.
Tyler's punched holes in walls, doors, broken mirrors.
Kicked the pets, even cracked my car windshield with her feet. Tyler has had the police called on her by various members of the family at least 30 times.
When Tyler got me arrested the first time, she had called the police. She then told them that I punched her in the face, and I was arrested on the spot.
Tyler has called the police trying to get her dad and I in trouble multiple times.
I actually spent 3 weeks in jail. I lost my job. Tyler's called CPS on us multiple times. The CPS investigations have pretty much become routine.
Tyler went to jail because she violated her probation.
And because she beat up a boy. She was in jail for 7 months. It's just complete chaos.
Tyler's rages are set off by anything and everything. It may be a look. Sometimes in the grocery store, Tyler would perceive that somebody was giving her a dirty look, and I would tell her I don't think that's the case, and be concerned that she would be angry at me for telling her that.
She called me an ass bitch.
Tyler is physically and verbally abusive to every member of the family.
We've had to file these order of protections against Tyler because of her violence.
When I was 6.5 months pregnant, Tyler had pushed her body up against me with such force that she was slamming me into a door.
My daughter Tegan and my son Daniel literally feel hatred for Tyler.
Tyler has been diagnosed with depression,
ADD, ADHD,
bipolar,
PTSD.
Tyler does not take medication at all.
At this point, I have completely cut Tyler off. Told my wife she's not to buy her stuff anymore.
Tyler is only 7 weeks pregnant. She has told me, you will never see your grandchild. I'm afraid she will crash and burn really hard.
Until she can accept that she needs help, Tyler's headed towards either long-term jail or an early death.
Okay, it's good to meet you. I'm sorry for the circumstance. You're basically parenting her, and you're using the police to help you parent her.
When Tyler was on probation, we were instructed that anytime she had any outbursts or behaviors like that, we had to call. We didn't call every time. That would be impossible.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. But they were becoming part of the parental unit, correct?
Yeah, well,
And that didn't work.
The other thing is, if we let it go too far, one of us would, more than likely me, would end up in jail for a
Oh, hell,
long
I don't
period
know
of
how
time.
you've gone this far. Seriously, I don't know how you even go home. Because it's a ticking time bomb for you, right? She's had you arrested, what, 3 times?
Yeah,
For parenting.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So this can't go on, right?
Right.
Okay, now she's got these multiple diagnoses that you said bipolar 1, ADHD, ADD, BPD, PTSD.
Yes.
Damn, buy a Val. That's a lot of diagnoses for an 18-year-old.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Do you think she has PTSD?
There was an incident where she was in a boarding home where someone tried to stab her with a knife. And I'm sure that was probably pretty traumatic.
It's a very complex diagnostic sequence. I see no evidence of it whatsoever in her patterns here at all. Dreams, nightmares, intrusive recollections, reliving the trauma, psychological, physiological reaction to cues, like loud noises, things of that nature, avoiding thoughts or feelings or conversations about it, activities, places, or people. Only thing is irritable and aggressive behavior, and that's not specific to this. So I think, I'm not sure that we even know what you're dealing with here, do we?
We've taken her to counseling. She's been always treated since she was young until she turned 18 and decided she was done with it.
But you don't know whether you were treating her for ADHD, ADD, borderline personality. You're just taking her for counseling.
When you're stuck in this situation, you listen to the professionals and you,
Sure, of course,
you let them.
of course you would.
Just go. Family counseling. Okay, let's go.
You don't go get a counselor and then not listen to them, right? You either put your faith in them or you don't.
Right. Yes.
I'm not being critical. I'm just trying to find out what you've done and not done, and do you know what you're treating or not treating?
I don't think we do.
No.
So at this point, here's what we know. She's not interested in doing anything to improve the situation or change it.
Right. She tells
Okay.
me that it has changed. She's changed.
Okay.
She says all of the people in her life besides us see a change, but they're all new people that she met in jail.
Okay, well, maybe. Okay, look, 18-year-old Tyler says her mom has hit her, bitten her, scratched her chest. She says her dad once punched her in the nose. She bled all over the bathroom. Her parents say Tyler is a liar who frequently makes up stories and then calls the police and CPS on them. Called CPS once from the jail on them. She just had a feeling that things weren't right. We'll meet Tyler after the break.
Tyler tried to manipulate me and my wife with a suicide attempt.
Tyler searched through all of my medications and found one that she thought could harm her.
She took pictures holding the bottle of pills and posted them on social media. I found Tyler on the couch, semi-conscious. I called 911.
The pills made her really out of it, but they didn't hurt her. I feel bad saying it was for attention, but I mean, that's like, hello.
Well, Stacy and Dan say their pregnant 18-year-old daughter, Tyler, is a rageaholic who has been abusing the family for years. Now, since getting out of jail in July, they say her behavior has actually gotten worse. Now, Tyler says her parents call the police on her any chance they get, and that there's a whole lot more to this story than they're telling. Take a look.
I am the black sheep of the family. My parents have brainwashed my siblings into thinking that I'm this big, horrible monster. My parents have called the police on me so many times for yelling at my brother, like siblings do to each other. They've had a refrain from order on me. I'm not to yell, swear, portray any harassing behaviors towards any of my family members. My mom has said, I hate you and I want you to die. She calls me a whore a lot. My dad, he's the one who started calling me a whore before my mom even did. One time, my dad shoved me into my bedroom closet wall and my elbow and the back of my head went through the wall, and there's still a hole there to this day. Another time, my father hit me really hard in the face. My nose started bleeding, so I ran to the bathroom. Blood got everywhere, all over the bathtub, the floor, the toilet seats. I called the police and they arrested him. When I was 13 years old, my parents kicked me out of the house and put me in a group home. They said that my behavior was the worst they'd ever seen. This year, I went to jail for 7 months for several violations of probation. The judge said I was a danger. They offered me probation again, but I decided to take my jail time. It was one of the worst experiences of my life. While I was in jail, I called CPS on my parents because while I was on a video call with my father, he was under the influence, was holding my infant sister. My boyfriend's name is Adam. We are engaged, and I am 7 weeks pregnant. I was in shock at first, kind of the whole, oh man, why wasn't I more careful stage. Life has been the furthest from normal, just so dysfunctional.
Okay, I'm glad you're here. How do you feel about being here?
To be honest, I'm a little nervous. I feel like nothing's really gonna come out of this, I'm not gonna lie to you. Nothing's ever worked before. I don't see anything ever working, so.
Maybe I'm different.
I hope so.
This is a family situation here. Yes. And so I've talked to them about that, but I'm asking you, what's your ownership in this? What is it that sets you up to be criticized?
I do have anger issues. I wouldn't use that as, like, my dad always says, like, I use that as a crutch, my anger issues. Like, that's not a good reason to be the way that you are, but I have a lot of trouble controlling myself sometimes.
Why were you on probation?
Fighting with my parents, trouble at school.
And then you violated your probation, and that involved beating up a friend?
I didn't beat him up. I punched him in the face. I mean, not saying that makes it any better by any means, but I didn't, like, straight beat him up or anything.
Okay. Have you kicked the windshield out of your family car?
No. I was sitting in the front seat waiting to go home. It was, like, below freezing outside. I didn't kick it. It wasn't, like, shattered or anything. It's not like I took a freaking baseball bat to it. I sat up in the seat.
And it cracked?
I guess so. We had a really crappy car. So I can't really tell you why it cracked. I'm not a freaking scientist, but it cracked, and that's not my fault.
Have you punched your mother in the face? While she was pregnant?
No, I did not punch her in the face. My mom physically tried to restrain me while I was pregnant. Well, she was pregnant, sorry.
Did she punch you in the face?
Yes.
Dan says Tyler has had him arrested and sent to jail, as I said before, on more than one occasion for attacking her. Dan says he's never hit any of his children, but Tyler says her dad repeatedly punched her in the ribs during an altercation in 2015. We'll talk about that and hear from little brother and sister when we come back.
I've been pregnant once before. At school that day, I was in a lot of pain, and I realized that I was losing my baby.
She tells everybody she had a miscarriage. Family members, friends, people talk about it and say Tyler was lying. She knows I don't believe her.
She denies it completely, that I was ever pregnant.
Well, 18-year-old Tyler is currently 7 weeks pregnant, but she says she was pregnant once before at 16. Now, Tyler claims she lost that baby. Stacy and Dan say they aren't sure if Tyler was ever pregnant at 16 years old. That's because they accuse her of being a liar and claim she has a long history of false accusations. Now, Dan says he's never hit any of his daughters, not ever. But on July 11th of 2015, he was arrested for battery and assault and cruelty to children. Take a look.
When I was 16, my father was in my bedroom yelling, screaming, just scary, angry, slurring his words. He didn't know who I was or who he was at all. My dad ended up talking to my mother on the phone because I wouldn't let him hold on to my phone because I was worried he would break it.
Tyler wouldn't give me her phone, so I tried to physically take it away from her, grabbed her arm and tried to just pry the phone from her hand.
So he started punching me in the rib.
I've never punched my daughter.
He thought I was somebody completely different, and he started saying sexual things to me. I was worried and scared because he didn't know who I was, and so I called the police.
I was arrested.
I was confused, scared, worried about what my mom was going to think when she came home.
I actually spent 3 weeks in jail for endangerment of the welfare of a minor and physical contact. I lost my job.
My mom was very mad at me.
I said to Tyler, I want you to tell them what really happened. And she said, you're telling me to lie to the police, and freaking out.
My mom wasn't there, she doesn't know.
I've never even asked my husband. I know it's not true.
There was this time where you two got in a fracas at a doctor's appointment. She didn't want to go in, so you said you sprinkled water on her.
Yes, I did.
Now, okay, if you believe that you have a volatile, rageaholic daughter, and she is at the time being oppositional and defiant, you think the best thing to do is throw water on her?
In hindsight, it was not the best decision. I was getting real mad. I was going to be late for my appointment, and she was refusing to get out.
And so you thought the thing to do was throw water on her?
I looked over, there's a water bottle. She was blowing her stack, and I thought, hey, I'll shut it off. Yeah.
How did that work for you?
It didn't work out very well. She pushed my door open so hard, she bent my door, she hit my hand, pushed it backwards, hyperextended my wrist, injured me. I mean, it didn't go well at all.
Yeah, but where's the adult here is what I'm saying. That doesn't work well. You're in this situation the night that you get arrested. The police report did say you were drinking that night. Under what set of logic does it make sense? You know you have a volatile, in your mind, rageaholic daughter. I'm not saying she is. I'm just saying that's how you view her, right? Yes. So you know in your mind that's what you're dealing with. So you decide, I'm going to physically take her phone from her. She's not going to give it to me, so by God, I'm going to take it away from her.
That would be the only way to punish her, and she would never give up anything. You have to take it away or wait till
Okay,
she
how did that work for you?
Well, in that occasion, it didn't work out very well.
You don't see how that leads to a bad result for you.
How else are we supposed to punish her?
Oh, I can think of a couple of thousand ways before
Feel
I would
free
put
to let
myself, as you, Dad, let me be selfish for you. If I'm you, knowing what I'm dealing with, whatever the list of options are, that would be the last one on my list because I know what I'm subjecting myself to. I'm just trying to be selfish on your behalf.
And it was the last option on our list. We have tried everything with Tyler, from grounding to taking her door off the hinges to shutting off Wi-Fi.
So you still think that was a reasonable thing to do in the moment?
Well, I mean, it wasn't the best decision.
How long were you in jail?
3 weeks.
I believe I'd have tried something else before I spent 3 weeks in jail. Come on.
Again, we had tried multiple things.
I'm frustrated right now, and I'm not going to wrestle either one of you to the ground because I'm sitting here thinking I've got two parents that I'm trying to get to see that you're putting yourself in harm's way. As a parent, you pick your battles and you pick your battlefields. Wrestling a phone while you're intoxicated and she's emotionally combative, that is neither the battle nor the battlefield.
I agree.
I'm just saying. Next, Tyler's 16-year-old sister and her 14-year-old brother Daniel say their families' lives would simply be better if Tyler would just not be living in the house. Tyler says her parents have brainwashed her siblings into hating her. Well, we're going to meet them after the break. We'll be right back.
Posted something about myself being bisexual, and my father was very rude in his opinions.
Tyler knew my beliefs. Bisexuals are just people who are addicted to lust and will anything, and that really set Tyler off.
My father said that it was a lustful sin and that everybody who was bisexual sickened him.
She responded nasty and negatively, but I'm a born-again Christian. I'm just quoting what the Bible says.
I stood up for myself, and he got really angry with me and stopped talking to me like altogether.
Okay, Dan says he's not speaking to his 18-year-old daughter, Tyler, and told his wife, Stacy, to cut her off. Now, Tyler's 16-year-old sister, Tegan, says Tyler is manipulative, lies, and abuses. Tyler's 14-year-old brother, Daniel, says it would be better if Tyler were just not there right now if she's going to behave in this way. Take a look.
Tyler's been abusive to me for as long as I can remember.
She hit me in the face with a peanut butter jar. I actually went to the ER.
Tyler has said I'm a worthless, stupid bitch, ugly, a screw-up.
Tyler will call me retarded and stupid.
She finds some self-satisfaction in putting other people down to bring herself up.
One time after I called the police on Tyler, she told them I was repeatedly punching her in the face. I've never hit my sister.
My sister has made accusations to the police about my dad molesting her, my parents abusing her and beating her, and none of that is true. Both me and Daniel were talked to by a CPS worker. They kept asking us questions. It was very traumatizing.
Tyler lies about being abused, basically anything that will get her attention. She used to lie about being pregnant until she actually became pregnant.
Tyler being pregnant is a cry for help.
She's not fit for raising a child or anything, including herself.
She just wants attention.
I do not like my sister. I don't want Tyler in my life.
Okay, have you two been brainwashed by your parents, or have you made up your own minds based on your relationship interactions with your sister?
We've made up our own minds based on everything that's happened.
She's mean to you.
Yes.
Why? Why do you think that is?
Because she feels like it.
What do you think about what she's saying today and how she's characterizing things today?
She's lying a lot or leaving things out that are very significant.
Such as?
It was not a crack, it was shattered. The whole entire windshield had to be replaced. If it was just a crack, it could have been fixed. The whole entire windshield was replaced. It was a huge shatter. She did it out of anger.
What do you say about that?
They're lying to you also. First of all, I'd like to talk about the fact that on that video, my sister said that I have called her some names. I have called her names, and I definitely, I'm not gonna lie, have called my brother a retard. She has called me fat, ugly. She's never sworn at me. She's never called me a bitch. I'm sure that I have called her a bitch. I'm not gonna lie about that. But I don't think I have ever told her she's worthless or anything like that. My brother and sister, they don't know it, they don't believe it, but they mean the world to me. I care about them more than I care about myself. I would jump in front of a school bus for them. I would take a bullet for them. And it blows my mind that they hate me so much.
To call someone a retard, as you say, is very inappropriate.
I understand
before,
that.
haven't you?
What's funny about that?
It blows my mind. It really does. I'm not saying I'm not to blame here, but they have all been lying through their teeth to you throughout the interviews on the screens, through talking to you right now, and it just, it honestly is funny to me that they don't have an issue with that at all. I have never, ever in my life accused my dad of sexually molesting me. He did say sexual things to me that day, but that's when I had enough and I got scared and I called the police.
Tyler,
We could ask my older sister.
you were in jail 7 months.
They tried to put me in foster care that night because I was 15, 16 years old. I'm not finished.
Somebody to take you.
I am not.
They made me find somewhere for you to go.
Who took me then, Mom?
A
Because
lady
I'm pretty-
from church. You stayed with
That
a lady
was
from
later,
church.
after you came
I had to
home.
immediately find somewhere for you
You're
to go.
wrong. You are wrong, Mom.
So you're saying the police in Georgia let a 16-year-old kid
Stay with a 22-year-old.
She was
How
not
would you
home.
know? You were so drunk you didn't remember a damn
wasn't
thing.
there. She wasn't there.
You didn't know who I was.
She was
Do you
gone
realize
all
you
night.
kept calling me
She was
Lacey?
gone all-
Who the Lacey, Dad? No.
You were
what the
staying.
Oh,
wrong
well,
with your brain?
hey. Watch your mouth. Do not disrespect me or this audience by talking that way here. You either have a clean mouth or you shut up, one of the two.
All right. Well, they're lying to you. They're lying to you. He's lying to you. She's lying to you.
Okay, Stacy refuses to allow Tyler to be alone with her own newborn child. The entire family worries Tyler could go into one of her raging fits, endangering the newborn. Tyler says it is incredibly hurtful that her family believes that she might hurt an infant. We'll talk about that and a baby that's on the way after the break.
Admitted to me that she self-harms to get attention. One time, Tyler threatened to cut her wrist with a razor blade.
She has carved things into her leg, stabbed herself with a pencil. When Tyler pulled out her own hair, I was horrified.
You recognize, because you told me, you have a problem with anger.
Yes.
I've seen that in the last 10 minutes. You obviously have a lot of pent-up anger, and frankly, I'm not saying that there aren't justifiable reasons for it. I totally get that from your point of view, you feel like you're getting blamed for a lot of things that need to be shared, blame-wise, right? I am told, and you have said, that you have been diagnosed with a variety of disorders: bipolar, PTSD, depression, anxiety. Why would you say, I don't feel like dealing with that?
Dealing with what?
All of those disorders.
Because I don't
You don't what?
feel like dealing with it.
You're having a baby.
You have a child on the way.
Yeah, I understand that. Thank you. You just want me to keep on just pushing pills down my throat,
just
especially
deny
when
it
I'm
and
pregnant?
go forward with this anxiety and rage inside of you.
How are you going to get any better, Tyler?
How am I gonna get exactly, Dad? How am I gonna get any better?
Without trying. You can't just
Pushing
say, well,
pills down
I'm
my
sick of
throat is
trying.
not what I want to do for myself.
What
do
would
you
you
wanna
like
do?
to do?
I'd like to get better, but I don't see that happening. I do not want to continually push medicine down my throat.
So,
I understand that you are
What?
A-okay with that, but that's not me.
Tyler,
Can I interrupt here?
Of course.
Why did y'all come here?
To try to get help for our family and Tyler.
From?
You.
Yeah.
There are some things I'd like to share with her, if I could jump in here for a second.
By all means.
I totally get what you're saying. I really do. If I'd been taking medications as long as you have, and they had made things worse, not better, I don't think I'd be running towards psychopharmacology either. And based on what I know about what your diagnoses have been and what you've been prescribed, I also agree that it's probably made you worse. Mm-hmm. Because I think A, you've been misdiagnosed, and I think B, you've been misprescribed. I agree. I think it's probably made you worse. So I don't disagree with you not wanting to take a bunch of pills. So you and I are on the same side of that. Imagine that. But there's something that I want you to think about. there are certain things that you have to look at and consider as a parent, because I don't want your child to be in jeopardy. Because having been trained as a forensic psychologist, I've been called upon as an officer of the court to render opinions about the fitness of a parent. And while there are some differences, minor differences from state to state, they all generally adhere to these basic 10 principles right here in determining fitness of a parent. And number one is that parent able to provide a safe, stable, and secure environment for the child? And I think right now, the answer for you would be questionable. Number two, maintain a loving, stable, consistent, nurturing relationship with the child. That's unknown. Three, attend to the daily needs of the child. Unknown. Attend to adequate education for the child, not an issue for a while. Provide for the financial support of the child, not right now. Ability to identify and prioritize the needs ahead of your own. At this point, I would have to say that alone disqualifies you as a parent for this baby, because you won't put the child's needs ahead of your own, because you're not taking care of the child's mother. The child's mother,
Because
obviously.
I don't want to take drugs?
That's not what I said. Now, you can set up a paper tiger and tie it down because you want to be a right fighter and you want to argue with me, or you can listen to what I'm telling you and hear something you need to hear. Or you're going to look at this 8.5 months from now, 7.5 months from now, and go, wow, I had a chance to fix this at the time and I didn't listen because I wanted to be smart-ass about it. You want to listen to what I'm telling you here. Assist the child in development and maintenance of appropriate relationships. You can't do that for yourself, let alone for the child. Exercise appropriate judgment regarding their welfare. Your judgment, your relationship management, your impulse control and management, and putting the child's needs ahead of your own would disqualify you because you won't take care of the child's mother. Now, is the alternative to go take a bunch of pills? That's not what I'm saying. That's what you want to hear so you can argue, because that's your default position, is to argue with someone.
May I ask what you're expecting me to do then?
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, I'm going to tell her exactly what I think she can do to change this situation, and I'm going to tell the family what I think they can do to contribute to this situation. This can get better. We'll be right back. You're having some impulse control disorders. That doesn't mean you're an evil person. It just means you have impulse control disorders. You get really upset quick. You like go from 0 to in like 1.2 seconds. And I think there's a neurological aspect to that. You get neurological pathways in your brain that coincide with anger and rage, and you can default to that, and it's like a racetrack with no exit ramp. You can get into it, and then before you know it, you're punching somebody in the face, or you're knocking a hole in the wall, or you're just screaming. And I think if we could unscrew the top of your head and look in, it would scare us to death. It was like, it's just so busy in there. And there are a lot of things that can be done with that. First off, I think you need to have a very careful and thorough evaluation, biochemically, neurologically, brain scan wise, hormonally, everything, so you know where you are, and then get you the alternatives, non-medication wise, to reprogram yourself so you have control that you don't now have. And that has nothing to do with them, that has to do with you. And I think it would make a huge difference in your life. No medicine. And this family needs some help in terms of family dynamic. Your way of problem solving is not good. That's a nice way of saying horrible. It's not good. You guys are so frustrated, you're so battle worn that you hit a frustration threshold really early. You need some relief. You need some reinforcements here, some new ways of doing things. And I'm willing to make those arrangements for you if you will take that help. And those two damn sure deserve it. They damn sure deserve it. And if I make those arrangements, will you guys immerse yourself in that? Will you do that?
Yes.
Will you take this help I'm offering you?
I have to think about it.
Will you take this help I'm offering you?
I have to think about it. I am telling you, Dr. Phil, we have been through so much, and I don't know if I even want a relationship with these people anymore.
Well,
they're not my family in my book.
well,
I don't have them.
Then don't, but you still have to take care of yourself so you can take care of your baby. If you never see them again, you still need to have peace in your own life and prepare yourself to give your baby the best chance it has to have a wonderful, vibrant, and happy life. And I'm going to guess that you've not had a better offer.
Okay.
But listen, if you don't want to do it, I totally get it, because I want to do this with you, not to you. This is something I'm offering you to do. I'm not trying to make you do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. I'm wanting to do this with you, not to you. I'm saying, hey, let me help you out here.
I know. I'll do it. I don't want to, but I
Well, if you change your mind, don't do it. But I'm guessing, like I say, it's probably the best offer you've had, and your baby sure deserves it. If you love your baby, and I know you do, take care of her mom. Okay? Take care of your mom. I'm not judging you. I'm offering to help you. And that's kind of hard to pick apart, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Fair enough? Okay. Okay. We'll get her to do this. It'll make a difference.
Today on an all-new Dr. Phil.
My mom blames me and my sisters for her drinking problem.
I just wish you were dead.
When she drinks,
This woman has attacked you with lethal weapons.
she rages.
You've been arrested 9 times. You missed your daughter's wedding.
He gave me the money to buy the alcohol, and he drank with me.
This is an urgent situation, and you go drinking with her? Let's do it.
Not a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Well, I want you to take a look at this. This was Shelley, her husband John, and their 3 beautiful daughters 12 years ago. But this is Shelley now in a photo gallery of 9 mugshots. Now, according to her daughters, their mother is a raging and violent alcoholic who knocked Holly out with a picture frame and attempted to kick Heather in the stomach when she was 9 months pregnant. They say their father, John, is putting his life at risk every day because Shelley hits him, chokes him, and has even swung a fireplace poker at him, thrown a hammer at him, and regularly threatens to kill him. Now, Shelley denies she is abusive and says her family is to blame for her drinking, not her, but them. In fact, Shelley claims she's the real victim in all of this, and John is actually abusing her. And by the way, she says he's the one supplying her with alcohol. Now, Shelley's daughters say this is just another one of the many lies their mother tells so she can keep on drinking. This is a mess. Take a look.
You're too drunk to drive.
Give me my key. Don't come out. Stop it.
My mother, Shelley, is an abusive alcoholic.
My mother's drink of choice is vodka.
Shelley's drunk pretty much around the clock.
My mother can't even go to the grocery store without bringing her water bottle filled with vodka. One time my dad found 18 bottles of vodka in the trash.
He hides some in various spots around the house and the garage.
That amounts to almost 30 shots of vodka a day.
My mother has tried to hit me before, and I have pushed her away. She gets angry. She just wants to take it out on any target she can.
She likes to throw things, break objects around the house.
My mom has pushed me, hit me, kicked me, choked me. The scariest attack was when I was 9 months pregnant and she tried pushing me down the stairs and kicking me in the stomach.
When I was in high school, she threw a metal picture frame at me and it hit me in the head and it made me pass out.
He's such a little.
My mother, Shelley, is mainly abusive towards my father, John. One time my mom hit my dad with the sharp end of the hammer.
And there was blood all over.
My biggest fear is that my mom will end up killing my dad in a drunken rage.
Don't come out. Stop it.
When Shelley's in a rage, I'll go in one of the bedrooms, lock the door, try and get away from her, trying to get her to cool off. And sometimes she'll break into the bedroom and it's all out assault, basically.
My mom, Shelley, blames me and my sisters for her drinking problem.
My mom loves to call us bitches, losers, and
Whenever my sisters and I hang out with my dad, she'll leave him threatening voicemails.
You are like the biggest loser. I'm just sick of you, and I just wish you were dead.
My father is miserable, but I don't think he knows how to leave her.
I don't even care about a relationship at this point. I gave up on her a while ago.
That's right. He's such a little.
All right, guys, I'm glad you're here. Now, first off, is there anybody here that has any doubt, debate, question that your mother is out of control?
No,
She's completely out of control.
You're convinced your wife is out of control?
Completely. Yeah, vodka completely takes over her life.
She's been arrested 9 times. She's spent almost 50 days in jail. How much is she drinking now?
I found 18 bottles of vodka, the 1.75 liter. And doing a quick Google search and calculations, it comes out to an average of 30 shots a day.
That was just for the month of December.
Okay, 30 shots a day for a month.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, 1.75 liters
Yes.
in a day, so that's like a half gallon.
Yeah, basically.
For those of us in America.
That's an awful lot of vodka, and I don't know how she is still alive.
Now, you guys have said she'll pour vodka into her wine.
Yes, or in a water bottle.
Yeah,
just
and
drink
carry a
it.
water bottle. She's mean drunk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's very
out about
Right?
it.
Yeah,
Because I made a list, I went through everything that all of you told me together and made a list of her abusive behavior. Now, according to the family, she hits, punches, and chokes you.
Yes.
She threw pictures, dishes, picture frames. She's hit you in the wrist with a hammer.
Correct.
Now, this broke a significant vein or artery. There was a lot of blood involved here.
Yeah, I told the girls to call the police. Because there's multiple times in the past the girls wanted to call the police, and I'd say, well, no, let's try and rectify the situation. But
She
it didn't
swung a
happen.
fire poker at you.
Yes, she
You know,
did.
that'll kill you, right?
Yeah.
If it hit you like in the temple or something with
I
that?
don't think he realizes what she's capable of when she's drinking. He always says, oh, I can just defend myself, but he can't.
She's hit, punched, choked, pulled the daughter's hair, nearly pushed you down the stairs when you were 9 months pregnant and tried to kick you in the stomach.
Yep.
While you were 9 months pregnant.
Yes.
She threw a picture frame at you,
Yes.
almost knocked you out.
Yeah.
She calls you every name in the book. I can't say some of them because of the FCC. She calls you guys bitches, whores, worthless and things I can't say. She threatens your life. She says she wishes you guys would die.
Yeah.
Okay, so why are you continuing to put yourself in harm's way? Why are you continuing to put your life at risk here? This woman has attacked you with lethal weapons and attempted to kill you.
Right. I do feel sorry for her.
She says you buy her alcohol.
In the past, rare occasions, but 99% of the time she's buying her own.
Was she drinking last night?
She was.
Were you drinking with her?
Yes. I know it was bad, but
wait a minute. Come on.
Lapse of judgment, but...
No, come on.
I mean...
You flew a long way to get here, right?
We did.
And
she was freaking out terribly.
You've come to Dr. Phil.
Yes.
For the purpose, hold on. For the purpose of getting your wife off of death row here. She's headed towards killing herself. This is an urgent situation. We need to deal with this. And you fly down here and go drinking with her?
Well, just a little bit. I try to keep it under control. I said, you get this amount, and then I gotta dump out the rest. You know, she's freaking out. She said she had to have it. And she had her couple drinks. I cut her off, dumped it out, and made her go to bed.
I don't enable people. And if you're willing to accept excuses, if you're willing to make excuses for her, if you're willing to allow her to deflect and wiggle, then I'd rather you not be here when she comes out here, because I am unwilling to do that. She needs to know the truth here, and she's going to hear it from me. And if you guys aren't prepared to back that up 100%, then I'd rather you just sit in the audience and not participate, because I intend to give her no wiggle room at all. For once in her life, she's going to hear the truth with clarity, inability to deflect, inability to blame you, anybody. She's going to have to own this herself. And if she refuses to face it and get help, then you've got to be willing to burn that bridge until such a time that she does. And you have to cross that threshold right now, or you own part of her decision to continue to drink, and you have to be willing to do that.
Right.
No.
Are you there?
Yes.
Are you there?
Yes, I am there. We're ready to face her.
Yeah, certainly.
John says his wife threatens his life and physically and verbally abuses him. Shelley claims she is the one being abused by her husband, and she says she has proof. Well, we're going to meet Shelley after the break.
John and my daughters have gained up on me. He's punched my head, knocked me down. I threw a hammer at John. Heather's a drama queen. I threw a frame at Holly. I didn't mean to hit her in the head. I'm an adult, so I can do what I want.
And later, whether you should have been or not, you have been arrested 9 times. You just described where you tore doors off, you threw them down the stairs, you punched holes in the wall.
But he enables me.
My relationship with my mom, Shelley, wasn't always the greatest. She wasn't your typical loving mother. As the years kept going, she just kept getting more mean and abusive.
My relationship with my mother, Shelley, is estranged at this point. I haven't seen my mother in 3 months. I try to avoid my mother as much as possible.
My mom has always told me that she hated me my whole childhood. She would say she wished I was never born or that I would die. Growing up, I came to resent her, so I hate her as well.
Shelley's daughters say their mother is not just a drunk, not just an alcoholic, but a violent alcoholic. Shelley says that she doesn't drink nearly as much as her family claims. Shelley says she really doesn't want to be here today, but she came only because her daughters threatened to cut her off and not speak to her again if she refused. She's here under duress, doesn't want to be here. She's doing it only because they said, if you don't come, we're done. Take a look.
I don't drink every day like my family claims. I know my drinking can be a problem, but I don't have to drink. John and my daughters have gained up on me. My daughters, Heather, Holly, and Hillary, all think I'm the bad person, and John's a good one. I'm angry at my husband. He always goes along with my girls. He also thinks I drink too much. Half the time he's not even home, so he really doesn't have a clue. If I'm taking a nap, he assumes I'm drunk. I get angry at John because he's controlling. He tells me when I can drink and can't drink. I'm an adult, so I can do what I want. I am not abusive to my husband. The only time I would hit him if he starts hitting me. He has knocked me down because I called him names, gave me a black eye, punched my head. I threw a hammer at John because I was drinking way too much vodka. I did not mean to hit John with the hammer. Heather's a drama queen. She said I tried to kick her. That is not true. Holly, I threw a frame at her. I got angry. I didn't mean to hit her in the head, but I did. I said I was sorry. My girls and John, they stick together. My husband doesn't make me a priority over my children. I'm his wife and I should be number one.
Okay, it's good to meet you. Why
I
did
want to tell you why I'm here.
Okay, I
I'm
want to hear
only
it.
here because they said I had to come here or they would have nothing to do with me. Yes, I do drink too much at times or whatever, but they think it's all my fault. John is an enabler to me. Just last night, he didn't want to drink, but he gave me the money to buy the alcohol, and he drank with me.
So you got money from him to go across the street and buy
That's
alcohol?
right. And then he drank with me.
How much did you buy?
Just the
750 milliliter.
3/4 of a.
Yes.
Yeah. How much of it did y'all drink?
I dumped out about a third of it before we went to bed.
So this is why we get frustrated.
We asked you why you drink, and you gave us a list. You said John is abusive. You say John doesn't make you the number one priority. You said you drink because you're angry at him.
Well, I keep things bottled up because when I try to talk to him, he doesn't want to hear it.
You say that he limits what you drink and it makes you want to drink more.
Yeah, because he tells me when I can drink.
And so you rebel against that.
That's right.
And
So then I'll buy my own and drink.
you lost your job because of Hillary in 2009. That made you want to drink.
Well, that was very sad.
She
Well,
blames it
I'm just
on
telling
me.
you what you said. This is in the interview. You told us that
Right.
you got upset when you lost your job in 2009 because of Hillary. You said you have rebellious and disrespectful daughters, and that makes you want to drink. You said you're not allowed to say what you want when you're sober, so you drink. You said you're bored and depressed, and you fill in the gaps with drinking. You lost your brother and your niece, and so that was hurtful to you, and you kind of self-medicated. Sorry for your loss, by the way. And in this past year, you've lost another loved one, your brother, and you self-medicated. Again, sorry for your loss, by the way. Everything the family does revolves around drinking, so it's hard for you to stay away from it because everything revolves around drinking, you say. Alcoholic runs in your family, and rehab just didn't help you.
Within a week, he bought booze and we drank.
No, I didn't buy it.
He tells me when I can drink.
She says she does drink, but she says it's not that big of a problem. Now, John says, if that's true, why does she run afoul of the law? We'll be right back.
One time I called the police because my mother completely destroyed the house. She threw things all over. Things were broken everywhere.
I was really drunk. I kicked the door in, knocked down knickknacks.
I feel relieved when the police come for her.
And later,
Why don't you stop?
I drink if I want to.
When you want
I drink because I can.
You will die. We talk about your funeral and what's going to
My mom
happen.
has been drinking and driving as long as I can remember.
She drinks and drives every day. When I was 13 years old, my mom and I dropped my sister Holly off at our friend's house. When we were pulling out of the driveway, my mom backed into the neighbor's mailbox. As we started driving down the road, she kept hitting the curb and continued to do it.
One time she brought my children to the store with her and I found out that she had backed into another car and left the scene. I I was furious because she was drinking with my children in the car. When I confronted my mom, she just played it off like it was no big deal.
Well, John says his wife's first arrest was in 2009 when she got belligerently drunk and attacked him with a hammer. Now, since then, he says this has become much more commonplace. Let's take a look.
My mother, Shelley, has been arrested 9 times.
My mother went to jail for abusing my dad. One time I called the police because she completely destroyed the house. She threw things all over. Things were broken everywhere.
My mom was going on one of her drunken rampages.
Give me my key.
So me and my sister Hillary called the cops on her.
I was really drunk. I kicked the door in, knocked down knickknacks, kicked the door off the hinges.
The time she was arrested, she's either hurting me, my sisters, or my father.
She was arrested on New Year's Day about 3 years ago. We were celebrating New Year's Day. She was intoxicated, so she didn't go to that event. When my father got home from the event, she was aggressive. He kept asking her to stop, but she wouldn't and was being more aggressive, so he called the police on her.
When John got home, I wanted a couple drinks. He said no, so I got upset. I threw the plate of cookies, so he called the cops. I went to jail again. It was not necessary for John to call the police on a plate of cookies.
After this arrest, she was put on probation and went to live with her parents for about 9 months. My father was granted a no-contact order, meaning that my mother could not go to the residence. My parents separated for 9 months, so she started being nice to him again, saying she was gonna work on things, making false promises.
Throughout all her arrests, my mom has stayed in jail about 50 days total.
I feel relieved when the police come for her because my mom deserves to be in jail for all that she has done to our family.
Okay, now, well,
No,
okay,
you are.
listen, no, let me take this apart here because you're talking about opinions here, and I don't want to talk about opinions, I want to talk about facts. First, let's get a definition. Let's get a definition about what's normal and what's abnormal, okay? To me, normal is anything that does not interfere with healthy functioning and pursuit of goals. Abnormal interferes with healthy functioning and pursuit of goals. You've been arrested 9 times.
Mm-hmm.
What do you figure the average is for the American female to be arrested?
I don't know. 5?
Take a guess.
5?
5 times. You think the... Okay, everybody in the audience that's been arrested 5 times, stand on your head.
I've been arrested when I shouldn't have been arrested.
Whether you should have been or not, you have been arrested 9 times. 72709, disorderly conduct, battery, domestic, 3 days in jail. 72312, disorderly conduct, criminal damage to property, 3 weeks in jail. 82712, bail jumping, 2 days in jail. 1115, disorderly conduct, criminal damage to property. You just described on tape where you tore doors off, you threw them down the stairs, you punched holes in the wall. 31515, probation violation. 51715, probation violation. 61615, probation. 71115, probation. You don't follow rules because you're drunk.
But he enables me.
Family events missed due to alcohol. December 14, you missed your husband's 50th birthday party. September 15th, you missed Holly's wedding. January 15, you missed the family New Year's party. May 16, you missed the birth of Holly's daughter. Thanksgiving 17, no show. You don't show up for things that normally
Okay, he's
someone in your
trying
position
to be
would
the
show
good
up
guy.
for. I'm not talking to him, I'm talking to you. In fact, before you got out here, I talked to him about enabling, and I'll talk to him some more, but right now we're talking to you, and I just want to, you've been arrested 9 times, you're missing family events.
Right. I know I drink too much at times. I was just 7 days clean until last night.
Uh-huh.
And that was your choice to drink.
And it was because he gave me the money. If he wouldn't have gave me the money, I would
drink.
No,
No one can
but
make
he's
you
an
drink.
enabler.
Stop blaming other people.
Okay.
Okay, Hillary says she doesn't know if she should invite her mother to her wedding in May because she's worried she will be drunk, embarrassing, and possibly fall off a cliff where the wedding is being held. And I've been where your wedding is, and that's a real possibility. She wants my thoughts on whether she should extend that invitation, and I'm going to give them to her after the break.
If they don't drink, I won't drink.
That's not true.
She has always told me how much she hates me and wish that I was dead.
She's told me before she would rather lose us as her family than quit drinking.
My mother is wasting her life away. She has a wonderful family. She has 3 daughters, 5 granddaughters who she could have a relationship with, but she chooses not to because of her addiction. My mother missed my wedding because at my rehearsal dinner, she caused a scene. My mother missed the birth of my daughter because she was too intoxicated and couldn't drive to the hospital to meet her.
I'm getting married in 3 months in Italy. I really worry about bringing my mom along. I told her if she's not gonna get sober, then she won't be coming to my wedding.
Hillary wrote into the show asking for my advice on a lot of things, one being whether or not she should invite her alcoholic mother to her wedding this coming May. What do you think?
Absolutely. They even said they would not drink. If they don't drink, I won't drink.
That's not true. You drink all the time when no one else drinks.
We hardly
Okay,
ever
we
drink at
go
all.
to every event. Are the guys not drinking?
The guys.
People can choose to
But
drink.
we
That
don't
doesn't
drink.
mean you
can
have
sit here
to.
and talk to us. We're not drinking.
Yeah, you
Realize
drink too.
you have a choice. You have a choice not to
You
drink.
all drink
too.
No,
Very rarely.
you're always drinking.
Do you have
No.
a drinking problem?
Yes, I do.
Are you an alcoholic?
Yep.
Well, she's told me before she would rather lose us as her family than quit drinking.
Was I drinking?
Probably. I mean, I don't know.
When are you
Times
not?
when you're
Okay.
sober, it
Let-
doesn't very often.
First off, you have a very specific question, and
Yeah.
may I answer it very specifically?
Yes.
I'm going to give you a conditional answer. If something doesn't happen today to dramatically change the course of events, then you absolutely should not invite your mother to your wedding.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you why. It will break your heart to not share this meaningful day in your life with your mother.
Yeah.
It will break your heart even more if on that day you spend all of your time worrying
Yeah.
whether or not somebody's going to come rushing in and say your mother has just fallen through the wedding cake or fallen off a cliff on the Amalfi Coast, which
Yeah.
is a hell of a long way down,
Yeah.
or started a big scene that was there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was raised by an alcoholic father. Robin was raised by an alcoholic father. We both grew up in homes with alcoholics.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been in a situation where my alcoholic father was at my little sister's wedding, and it did not end well. You deserve to be the star that day. You deserve to be the center of attention. You deserve to have that day to remember for the rest of your life where it was all about you. And you get to be in that idyllic setting with the man of your dreams and have that day to remember for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You know, Heather says that mom admitted to the family therapist 8 years ago that she hated her. What does that mean? How did that come about?
She has always told me my entire life how much she hates me and wish that I was dead, that I was
is
never
not
born.
true.
Don't even lie.
We've always had something like
Don't
against
even
Heather,
lie.
and we don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's always been something.
She even admitted it
always
to the therapist.
She doesn't hate you. That's alcohol talking. That's distortion talking. She doesn't hate you.
She would tell me
You
those
don't
things
hate her,
before
do you?
this.
Do you think that you would say that in a sober, rational moment that you hate your daughter?
She has.
She has.
No,
No.
no.
You've always had a chip on your shoulder towards Heather.
What did you say? Because we're too much alike.
No.
Well, you're both emotional, yeah, but I always wanted you to have a nice relationship with Heather, your firstborn daughter, for many years. I said, well, just take her out to lunch, do something with her, anything.
I'm not saying you aren't combative, but hate's a big and ugly word that doesn't belong between a mother and a daughter.
I agree.
John says that he stays with Shelley. John says he stays with Shelley because he feels obligated to get her better through sickness and health.
But
Is he really taking care of that obligation by doing what he's doing? Or is he actually just sacrificing himself and his family and in fact is not taking care of that obligation by doing what he's doing? We'll talk about that when we come back.
My mother has a lot of excuses for why she drinks.
My mom blames Heather because she got pregnant with her when she was 19 years old. I feel like she just never wanted to start a family, or maybe she didn't want to start a family that young and has regrets about it.
She says me and my sisters are disrespectful towards her. That's why she drinks.
I think her biggest reasoning for drinking is because her brother died from lung cancer. Another brother died this past year of cancer. She uses those deaths as an excuse to drink.
She has gone through her life blaming other people instead of looking at herself.
Now, I'm going to ask the three of you, and I'm going to get to John in a minute, but I'm going to ask the three of you, and I want you to weigh this very carefully because there's a distinct possibility that this may be the last time that you look your mother in the eye and speak to her. What is it you want to say to your mother about her drinking and her relationship with you? I'll start with you.
Well, I want you to stop blaming other people for your drinking. I want you to take the responsibility for it. You should be very happy.
I drink if I want to.
Well, you should
when I want to.
When you want
I drink because I can. I'm an adult.
You know you have a drinking problem, though, so why don't you stop?
It's not that easy to stop. It's a disease.
I think we're very scared that you will die soon. We talk about your funeral and what's going to happen. We should not be thinking about your death, but we're so concerned about you, and we're also concerned about the safety of our father because you don't know what you're capable of when you're drinking.
I lived there for
but
how
long? If you don't stop drinking, you will die.
Is there anything you want to say to her?
If you don't get sober, you will not have a relationship with your granddaughters.
I know that. That's why I'm here.
That breaks my heart when they ask about you.
I know.
Like, don't you want to see the grandkids?
Stop just blaming me. Blame him.
He sees
He's
the grandkids.
abusive too.
No, he
You
isn't.
hit me. You bruised me. Yeah, you do hit
Were the
me.
police called? Did you
No,
call
I'm not going to call
Does it-
because
does it
you
call
were
a-
both
You said
drinking.
before that you would
Did
call
you
the
call a
police on
family
Dad, and we
member to
told
come
you
help
to.
you?
This is how I look when my head's about to explode. Does anybody want to know why?
Yeah.
Not really. No. Probably not good.
No.
You do want to know why. She's controlling this whole situation.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. It's called deflection. Because if she can get you arguing, if she can get you focusing on some detail, some circumstance, like who said what to who the Christmas before last, or who said what to who, or what John did, or what John didn't do, then the clock is running and you're not talking about her drinking. You're so good at it, you don't even know it. I mean, you've got, she says, it's John's fault. The devil made me do it. If you have one objective, and one objective is we are going to push a rock up a hill. And every time you start arguing with her, you're not pushing the rock up the hill. We have one objective, push the rock up the hill, and that's to get her to quit drinking. I don't care who she blames as long as the rock goes up the hill. But it doesn't matter. There have been a lot of accusations thrown around here today, but one thing I know for sure is that Shelley is in crisis, John is in danger, these daughters are at the end of their rope, and I have an answer. We'll be right back.
I have a master's degree in counselor education, so I understand the risk factors for domestic violence homicide. My father meets most criteria of risk factors for being killed by their partner. One of the questions is, have they ever used a weapon against you or threatened you with a weapon? And that is true. Does she spy on you or leave threatening messages? And she definitely leaves threatening messages. My mother says she drinks because my dad is abusive.
We were arguing, and then he pushed me on the ground, started pounding on my head, my back, and my legs.
My father is not abusive. My mother is the abusive one.
You work in this
Yes,
field,
I work at
right?
a domestic violence agency.
And at that domestic violence agency, you have a tool that you use, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lethality screen.
Yep.
It's really good.
Yes.
And we work in domestic violence a lot. Robin is a very strong advocate in this field. And I want to take a look. There are 11 items on this. And you determine this, you use this to determine whether or not there's a risk level involved. Number one, has he or she ever used a weapon against you or threatened you with a weapon? 2, has he or she threatened to kill you or your children? 3, do you think he or she might kill you? 4, does he or she have a gun or can she easily get one? 5, has he or she ever tried to choke you? 6, is he or she violently or constantly jealous? Or does he or she control most of your daily activities? 7, have you left him or her or separated after living together or being married? 8, is he or she unemployed? 9, has he or she ever tried to kill him or herself? 10, do you have a child that he or she knows is not his or hers? 11, does he or she follow or spy on you or leave threatening messages? Now, to the extent you answer any of those questions in the affirmative, the more you do so, the higher the risk level. So we applied that to what we know from this situation based on your answers and factual information, including arrests, hospital records, et cetera. And here are the ones that were answered in the affirmative. That means your concerns are quite real.
Very real.
So when we talk about, is your life at risk here? Yeah. You say you take your wedding vows very seriously. I do too. I've been married 41 years. And I think we get divorced in America much too quickly. But I wrote a book some time ago called Relationship Rescue, and in it I talked about deal breakers. There are some drop-dead deal breakers, and they are addictions to drug or alcohol if the partner refuses to acknowledge the problem or make sincere efforts to get treatment. If there is physical abuse, you have to act immediately to get out right now until a competent professional objectively advises you it is safe to live under the same roof again. If you've got drugs or alcohol and the person refuses to acknowledge it and get help, or if there is physical abuse, those two are drop-dead deal breakers, and you've got them both. My one last question for Shelley and for the other 4 members of this family when we come back. If you are a severe alcoholic, I think right now, if you decided I hear you and I'm just going to stop, I don't think you could do that if your heart really was in it. I don't think you could do it. And I'll tell you why. I do think you have experienced changes in your brain because of the alcohol. I think you also have some comorbid situations going along with it that trigger the drinking. I think you have had some losses in your life. I don't think you've ever grieved those properly because you numbed yourself with alcohol. I think you have some depression. I think you have some anxiety. And I think you self-medicate. I don't think you drink recreationally. I think some of that is true, but I think you self-medicate these conditions. And I think if we were to treat you for this alcohol addiction and ignore these things over here, as soon as you got through with that, these things would begin to trigger your need to self-medicate again. If you take away a coping mechanism and you don't put something back in its place, then line of least resistance, people will go back to what they know. And what you know now is your coping mechanism is to numb yourself with alcohol so the pain goes away. And so what has to happen, in my view, is that you need a very intense, long-term, dual diagnosis intervention program that deals with the psychological issues that you're having, so you can resolve those things so you don't need self-medication, and at the same time you overcome this addiction and get new coping mechanisms so you don't have a need to self-medicate when you do get under stress and anxiety. Now, what I am willing to do for you, and I have spoken to these people at great length, there's a place I have great confidence in called Creative Care Malibu, and it is a substance and mental health treatment center which offers detoxification from drugs and alcohol and a full psychiatric and psychological assessment and treatment by top-notch doctors, therapists, and nurses to ensure that each client receives a very individualized care program in a very tranquil setting that is ideal for healing. And I mean, you can look at this is on the beach in Malibu. This is a beautiful place. It's located on 25 acres overlooking the Pacific Ocean. It's just a few minutes from the most beautiful Malibu beaches. And the biggest problem we have here is people go there and don't want to leave because it's such a beautiful and tranquil place. And I'm willing to make that offer to you as our gift to you to get this done right one time. You don't want the alternative, which is to continue doing what you're doing. You know that's not right.
I know that.
So will you take this offer I'm making to you?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to thank all of my guests today. A very special thanks to the great folks at Creative Care Malibu. Dr. Kaligi, thank you. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.
All new Dr. Phil. She went from good girl to this.
We did not raise a gangster.
Involved in a drive-by.
My friend got shot in the head. I took my friend's bag.
There was a gun and drugs in there?
I'm no thief.
Aren't you on probation?
Yes.
Well, that sounds criminal.
This is just who I am.
But you're not tough. Dr. Phil could beat you up if he wanted to.
I think I just got insulted. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Pedicures. Now, Steve claims Carrie started drinking and neglecting the children because she was too hungover to parent. Now, they eventually separated, and a jobless Carrie moved in with her parents. Now, Carrie says she's angry because Steve, who once made the big bucks as a big-time Wall Street attorney, traded it all in to open a marijuana dispensary business and is no longer able to support her in the way she had grown accustomed. Take a look at Carrie's self-described downward spiral that took her from rich, fit, and tan to what she calls, in her words, broke and fat.
My husband Steve and I had it all.
My wife Carrie seemed to have everything she wanted.
We had 2 beautiful children who went to the best private schools. We lived in a nice 3,000 square foot home with 4 bedrooms in an exclusive community just outside New York City. We actually lived in the same town as Martha Stewart.
We had nannies, housekeepers, and gardeners.
I drove a Porsche. We had Denali's, BMWs. For vacations, we would go to Turks and Caicos, the Bahamas, Mexico, Aruba. I would spend my days going shopping. For my 40th birthday party, I bought a Cavalli gown. I wore Louboutins, Manolo Blahniks, Valentino. Steve was a successful corporate lawyer. He made nearly $700,000 a year. About 4 years ago, Steve quit his job. My first reaction was, oh my God.
Now I own and manage a legal cannabis business.
My feeling is that he's basically dealing drugs. To say the least, everything we had just went away. The nannies, the cars, poof, gone. Last year, we decided to separate. In my past, I've had some issues with drinking. I've been in and out of rehab for alcohol use. I was so upset, I was just drinking our problems away.
Carrie checked out of her desire to be a mother.
Now our children live with Steve. I feel like my life has completely fallen apart. I don't have a job. I really need Steve to help me out financially. But Steve absolutely refuses. He basically cut me off. He can't do that. I'm his wife.
I need to minimize the drama in our lives at this point. I hope that she can figure this out.
I needed a place to live, so I had to move back in with my parents. I don't even recognize myself. I put on at least 150 pounds, and I was rich and gorgeous. Now I'm just broke and fat. I'm a complete riches to rags story, and I don't know what to do.
Well, that sounds pretty bleak in your view.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So how'd this all come unraveled for you? What happened?
Well, like you said, when I turned 40, something kind of snapped and I went into a deep depression, and our relationship kind of started falling apart. And when Steve left his job, things really changed.
In terms of lifestyle, and that seems like it was pretty important to you.
I don't want to seem entitled, but it was what I became accustomed to.
Yeah. And when you say you became accustomed to it, you expected it. You were disappointed when it went away.
Yes, I was.
You're describing every brand of gown you're wearing, shoes I can't even pronounce half of this
Just
stuff.
call them red bottoms.
Yeah. Where's all that stuff?
It's in boxes somewhere. It's all size 2, and I'm hanging on to it in the hopes that I'll get back there one day.
And you used to have a problem with drinking.
Right.
But you don't now.
That's questionable.
It's not really questionable, is it?
No, I do.
You have a serious problem with drinking, right?
Right.
How many times have you been to rehab?
At least 6.
6 times to rehab. And what do you do when you get out?
I go to AA meetings and I'll stay sober for a while, but eventually I relapse and go back to drinking.
Like this picture your husband took?
Oh, yeah.
How long has you been out of rehab here?
The same weekend that I got out.
The weekend you get out,
Yeah,
you get so drunk you're asleep on the lawn.
yeah.
So look at this picture.
That's Armani.
I wasn't asking about the dress. I was asking about the woman in the dress.
Yeah, that was a happy time.
You weren't sober then.
I'm not sure, probably not.
Where was your husband when all this unraveling was going on?
He was actually busy helping take care of the kids. He did most of the cooking, most of the grocery shopping. He was there for us.
But now you're dogging on him saying he's basically a drug dealer.
Right.
How's he doing on raising the children?
Well.
And their mother is where?
2 hours away at her parents' house. I want to be there for my children and be a good mom for my kids.
You go to rehab and drink while you're there.
I have.
So what's more important to you than being with your children?
I guess my relapses have gotten in the way of that.
Well, excuse me for being a bit barbaric, but I want you to pull your head out of your ass and get in the game here. You're better than what you're doing. You are better than what you're doing. You're better than laying around. Where are you going to be a year from now doing what you're doing?
I'm tired of feeling hopeless. It's not where I want to be.
You say that Steve must still have money, and you say his favorite excuse is, I don't have money because I'm spending money on your medical expenses. He says he spent, what, close to $500,000 on your rehab.
That's not even true.
Well, what would you do if he started giving you money right now? Honestly, what would you do with it?
I would move to the town where my children are, work full-time, buy a car.
You drank in rehab.
Yeah.
You're to be trusted with money now. Is that what you're saying? Everything would be fine.
It's a possibility.
Somebody stamped stupid on my forehead? But you don't believe that.
The way things are right now, it's out of control.
Right.
I understand that, and I don't want that.
Well, tell yourself the truth.
The disease lies.
I don't. I'm curious what your husband has to say. We're going to add him to this conversation next and see how all of this unfolded and went from the fancy gowns and the red bottom shoes to living 2 hours away from the kids who have got to be wondering, where is my mother? We'll be right back.
To say the least, Steve has a lot of anger issues. Steve flies into a rage and he literally foams at the mouth. In the past, he has put his hands on me, bruised me by pushing me or grabbing me. He's even choked me and ripped my hair out. In a fit of rage, he even threatened to kill me.
There were a lot of years where I felt angry, and now I just feel sad.
He feels I've ruined his and our children's lives.
Well, Carrie says when she first met her husband, Steve, she saw him as her knight in shining armor and was swept away by their lifestyle of lavish vacations, fancy shopping sprees, fine dining, all funded by his six-figure paycheck. But that all came to a halt when Steve traded in his high-paying Wall Street job to be a small businessman selling marijuana. Legally, it's licensed in the state. Steve says he chose his new line of work as it enabled him to be more involved in their children's lives. Take a look.
Things started to change when we moved to just outside of New York City. Carrie felt like she needed to keep up with the Joneses. It seemed like life was one big party to her. Her life spiraled out of control. We had 2 young children. Carrie was so focused on drinking, I had to step up and make sure our children were taken care of. She could no longer handle the responsibilities. The reason I changed my career was so I could focus on our children and be a stay-at-home dad, because Carrie was no longer available. She was unable to function as a mother. Although Carrie was there physically, she seemed to have abandoned the family and the children mentally for many years. We have certainly seen Carrie falling apart. She seems like a shell of herself. Carrie's probably been in and out of rehab between 10 and 15 times. The amount I've spent on her health care in the last 10 years, I would say it's in the range of $500,000. Carrie has treated rehab as somewhat of a vacation. She will come back home and go right back to drinking. I'm no longer able to live with Carrie because I need to focus on the children. The money that we have left needs to go to raising our children.
Steve, it's good to meet you. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
Did you fold your career to be a stay-at-home dad? To take the place of an absent parent?
I transitioned my career so that I could focus on the children.
Has that worked for you?
It's working. And
how are the children?
I wish that it wasn't my first choice. The children are doing remarkably well. I think they miss their mother and would like to have a happy, healthy mother back in their life.
But she's not in their lives now, right? And not making an effort?
Not in a significant way.
You bailed on your daughter's class party in kindergarten. He says you haven't shown up to school events in years. You stayed in bed for months. You've been drunk in front of the children. He's been in charge of meals, homework, errands. And in the meantime, you've been going to rehab 10 times. You say 6. He says 10 or more. Your daughter is how old?
13.
She wrote a letter to you. She says, "Dear Mom, I understand that drinking makes you happy and calm, but you don't see that I interpret that as not my mom. I have never thought of drunk you as my mom. I have thought of drunk you as an evil twin. Mom, I know you're capable of taking a difficult situation and making it better. Sobriety, happiness, connection, that's all I want." And she signs it, "Love the daughter who will never, ever leave you or betray you."
It's so painful.
When you told us your story, you talked about a lavish lifestyle. You talked about a 4-bedroom home that was gone. You talked about private schools that were gone. You talked about nannies that were gone. You talked about expensive vacations, driving expensive cars. You talked about the Cavalli gowns, the shoes I can't pronounce. You talked about all of those things that were gone. But you didn't say much, if anything, about the quality time with your children.
It's too painful. It's part of the reason I drink is because it's all so painful.
Carrie says her parents allowed her to move back home with one condition. She does not abuse alcohol. Said if she drinks, deal off. So did she keep her end of the agreement? Well, we'll talk to them and find out what they say when we come back.
At the moment, I'm living with my parents. I'm 48 years old and I feel like I'm locked up. It feels like living in jail. It's very tense living with my parents. They're on my case about getting a job, getting a car, getting out of the house. I feel like a teenager. They absolutely treat me like a child.
Carrie says she feels like a teenager since being forced to move home with her mom and her dad. Her parents, Charlie and Carolyn, say they have made huge sacrifices to allow their jobless 48-year-old daughter to stay with them, including loaning her thousands of dollars. Now, their only stipulation is that Carrie not drink while she lives under their roof.
About 4 months ago, our daughter Carrie moved into our home. When I picked her up at the airport, I didn't recognize her. She had gained so much weight. My husband and I, at this point, are very frustrated with Carrie.
All she wants to do all day is just lay on her bed and watch TV.
Carrie doesn't have a job, and and she hasn't been looking for a job.
I've tried to give her advice. She acts like she doesn't appreciate it, so I pretty much given up.
We've given her about $12,000. We told her if we give you money, it's going to come out of your inheritance. She tells me she hasn't been drinking. We've been very clear with her. We've told her if we catch her drinking, we're taking her to the homeless shelter.
We've told her flat out that if we catch her drinking, it's a deal breaker.
My fear is that she will never get her act together.
Thank y'all for being here. Now, her behavior, according to you guys, I made a list. You say even living under your roof, she doesn't clean. She doesn't help cook dinner. You say she watches TV 95% of the time. You say she sits in her room, doesn't have a job. You gave her $2,000 for class that she didn't take. She pawned her wedding ring for money, sold a car, received $300, took $12,000 from y'all, serious debt.
We want to try to give her the benefit of the doubt.
You gave her $12,000?
Well, over a period of time.
We're considering it early inheritance. So when the time comes, if there's anything left to share with her sister, it will come out of her share.
You give a drunk cash.
Oh, we didn't.
Yeah, we did.
Did we give her cash?
Well,
you did lay this rule down. If you're not going to drink here, you might lay around like a lizard on a rock and watch TV all day, but you're not going to drink here. Now, despite her parents claiming she doesn't drink, Carrie confessed something to us on tape just a few days ago. Take a look.
There's a lot that my parents and Steve don't even know. They all think that I've been sober. The fact of the matter is that I have been drinking. Just yesterday, I probably had 10 drinks. Even today, I had 2 tequilas and a bottle of wine. In my parents' house, I know they have a no drinking rule. But you know, I drink at their home all the time. I use my parents' car to go buy alcohol. I have this great Todd's purse that I can hide the liquor in. Sometimes I have to drape a sweater over it so they can't see that it's bulging. And what I do is I close the bedroom door and go in and I drink. When I'm drinking, I have to hide the bottle behind pillows. After I finish a beer at my parents' house, I'll take the bottle and hide it in a suitcase I have in my closet. This is where I'm hiding my bottles. If my parents find it, they're gonna take them out. I also have 2 adult children from a previous relationship. And they pick me up, we go out drinking. Cheers, bottoms up, Long Island iced tea. My fear now is that everyone knows what I've been up to. My parents are probably gonna kick me out.
What's your reaction to that?
We had our suspicions.
Yeah,
but we didn't have proof. And you don't really want to be the alcohol police. When you have a daughter at 48, you know, you don't want to be the alcohol police. So you're trying to, again, give her the benefit of the doubt.
You've been here a few days, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Saturday, she drank alcohol on the plane. She met producers in the office drunk. She requested staff to get her cigarettes. She requested staff accompany her for lunch. She drank alcohol at lunch. On Sunday, she told the staff she had 10 drinks the day before. She told the segment producer she had 2 shots of tequila and a bottle of wine that morning. On Monday, she texted the producer at 8 a.m. that she spent her last dollar on alcohol and had been drinking since 2:30 a.m., requested the staff take her to the liquor store. She smelled of alcohol and was stumbling around. You're shaking your head no? We have the text.
Yeah.
You asked the producer for a drink this morning. The debate if you have a drinking problem, are we?
No.
And you disclosed to us that you're drinking in their house. That tells me that you don't really want to hide this.
No.
Let's be completely honest, okay? I mean, what the hell? I mean, they can kill you, but they can't eat you, right? I mean,
Yeah.
how many bottles you figure you've got hidden in your parents' house right now, empties?
Maybe like 15.
And how many of you carried out of there when you had the chance?
20.
So 15 there, and you've taken 20 out so far.
Yeah.
How do you not know this?
She's sneaking.
She stays in her bedroom with the door shut.
I can't help her if you don't help me.
Okay.
That's the problem here. I
Well,
can't.
we will help you.
And listen, you got to be just worn the hell out. I mean, cash-wise, otherwise, and I don't know. You may not put him up for husband of the year or whatever, but I'll tell you what. The boy has stepped up here. He's taken care of your children. Yeah. He's bent his life around. God bless you. I've been doing this a long time. A lot of folks would have been gone a hell of a lot before now. And he still obviously cares about the mother of his children. And he's not trashing you to the children. I can see that from what your daughter is saying. But you know you have a daughter with a chronic alcoholic problem, right?
Yes.
You know you've got a chronic alcoholic that has relapsed 10, 15, 20 times. Yeah, here's the keys. Here's the keys, run an errand. Take the car. Oh, and here's some cash. Here's some cash and the car keys. Go forth. That has to, you have to get in the car and shake your head. Don't you sometimes wonder, how did I get away with this? Mm-hmm. They gave me money and a car. Don't you back out sometimes thinking, how did I pull this off?
It's terrifying. I don't feel good about it. It's something that is ruining my life, and it's a compulsion.
Yeah, but don't you wonder how did I get away with this? I got a car and money. I can go out and Long Island iced tea. I can go out and drink.
Yeah.
So, what is best for Steve and Carrie's children? I mean, Steve's older sister Beth is here. She has a surprising take on all of this. We'll hear from her next. We're trying to unravel this. We'll be right back.
My children are absolutely everything to me. I'm very close to them, and we spend great weekends together at my parents' house. What I provide for my children is a strong mother figure.
I do all the physical things. I wake them up in the morning, I make them breakfast, I take them to school, I drive them to their after-school activities, I take them to doctors, dentists.
I feel I'm a good mom because I'm very attentive to their feelings. I deal with them with gentleness and love. If Steve thinks that I'm not a good mom, he should take a look at himself.
Well, Steve says there's no good reason to divorce his estranged wife, Carrie, because it wouldn't make sense financially, it wouldn't help their children. However, his older sister, Beth, says motherhood may just be too stressful for Carrie to handle.
My brothers, Steve and Carrie, had a wonderful life. They were in New York and they had it all. Before I became a mother, I used to look at Carrie and think, I want to be a mom just like her. She was so wonderful. And now I look at her and I can't believe the difference. When everything came crashing down, the children were stuck right in the middle of this. Once Carrie starts drinking, the parenting stops. There are many times where the kids knew better than to get in the car with Carrie. They would walk home from school. Stephen has done everything for these children. The last couple of years, Carrie has almost entirely abandoned her children. I really worry about my brother, Stephen. Stephen is very stressed, having to do all the cooking, the cleaning, both parenting. My concern is for those children. They deserve a great life. These children need a stable home. These kids need dependable parents.
Well, Beth, thank you for being here. What can you add to this conversation?
Well, everybody's been very kind. I'm not going to be as kind, unfortunately, because These kids are suffering. You haven't been there, and when you are there, you're in your room. You haven't cooked a meal. You haven't gone to one of their events. She didn't even want to go to dance anymore because she was embarrassed that she was the only one that's mother didn't come to her dance recitals or her talent show. And Steven's doing the best he can. And I know you think you've been there, but Carrie, you just haven't been there in years. I know, I think your disease tells you one thing, but the truth of the matter is you've abandoned these children, and they are wonderful in spite of you and not because of you. Those children deserve more. You are so lucky to have them, and you don't deserve them. You don't deserve them until you get better. And my brother, God love him, has done everything. He might not be perfect, but my God, he's been there for them, and you haven't.
You're saying what is what? And what do you say to what she's saying?
It's not the way I want to live, and it's not the way I want to be a parent. You know that in me is this longing to be present in their lives.
Don't say I've been a great parent. Don't let me hear you say, I've been a great parent, I've been there, I go to her. In kindergarten, she's in 7th grade. Do you know what size bra she wears? Do you know what boy she likes? She couldn't come to you. She called me for those things that she needed a female. She adores you. She didn't want to ever hurt you. I'd say, why don't you ask your mom? Oh, it's going to be too much. I don't want to send her over the edge. I don't want to make her anxious or make her depressed. So can you help me with this? It's not been easy.
I ask you where you think this is going to wind up if you keep making the choices that you're making. And I asked a good friend of mine, Ann Margaret, to come here today. Ann Margaret Carrozza is an attorney. She's an asset protection attorney. She's the author of the book, Love and Money, Protecting Yourself from Angry Exes, Wacky Relatives, Con Artists, and Inner Demons, which is available in bookstores, by the way. And Margaret and I have worked together a lot. And there gets to a point where everybody has to be a fiduciary for the children. Everybody has to make the right decisions. And we're at a point here that people need to start thinking about what's the best and right thing to do, correct?
Absolutely. In the book, I talk about strategies that we as women can undertake to regain control over our financial lives. In your position, I would sell the red bottom shoes, I would sell some of those designer clothes, generate some cash, open up a savings account, give your parents some money toward utilities. You're going to start to feel more in control. Yes, it's a tiny thing, but you know how when they say when money's a problem, everything's a problem? When you have control over your money, you start to feel a little bit stronger and maybe better able to tackle the other areas of your life. But as far as the kids go, I think it's critically important that Carrie and Steve, within your estate planning documents, you need to memorialize the arrangement that you have with Beth, that if something happens to you, that Beth could step in as a legal guardian. Otherwise, she'd be in court and it could be a 3-ring circus. The other thing that I'd want to see you all do is, to the extent that, Beth, you have the kids for extended blocks of time, Carrie and Steve should each execute what's called designation of standby guardian. It's a downloadable form. You don't have to pay an attorney to do it. But this way, Beth, if there's a medical emergency, you're legally empowered to deal with it.
Yeah, the last thing we want to do right now, I mean, everything's about timing, right? The last thing you want to do right now is make funds available to you if your disease is in control of your life. But what you're saying is there is a point where you do want to do everything you can to make people whole, to feel like you're contributing, to feel like you're making some type of contribution, and that is true. But you've got to get yourself under control before you're able to do any of that. Now, Carrie's family came here to find out how she can start focusing on her future, not live in the past. So I'm curious how she feels about all of this, and I'm going to tell you what I think needs to happen going forward. It's going to really surprise you. We'll be right back. I do think you can turn this around, and I have some thoughts about this. I asked some people to come here today. In the audience is Dr. Maureen Esposito, the Executive Vice President of Clinical Services, and Dr. Jawad, the Medical Director of Transformations Treatment Center. It is a premier treatment center which specializes in drug and alcohol and therapy and support. It's a dual diagnosis treatment center, but I'm not sending you there. I think it's important to have that asset, and under the right circumstances, they have agreed to accept you into the program, correct?
Correct.
And y'all realize she's been in and out of rehab and failed a number of times, correct?
Exactly.
And anybody can be a star in rehab, right? The problem is transformation to the outside. It's that transition to the outside world. And I've made that a pet project of mine. And you all know what virtual reality is, right? When you put on goggles and wherever you look, you feel like you are right there in the moment. Here's an example. If you feel like you're actually in a race car driving, well, take a look at this and you'll see what I'm talking about. Well, I've done the same thing for the treatment world. I've created a virtual reality tool to help that transition go smoothly and prepare for triggers. Here I am in a bar. Why? Because I know that people are going to get in high-risk situations once they get out. And I want to be there in a patient's head, training folks on how to handle those high-risk situations. It offers a unique experience so patients can sit down in a face-to-face setting with me without ever leaving the safety of the facility. Certain elite rehab programs across the country have this tool as part of their protocol, including Transformations Treatment Center. And so the idea that I'm going for here is when someone like you goes into treatment and gets out, I want there to be a significant voice in your head, a significant voice in your head that stands out from all the noise, where you can say, okay, this is what Dr. Phil and I talked about. I see this in my head. We stood in a bar together and we talked about this, and it registers in my head, and it becomes a trigger for coping instead of a trigger for meltdown. Because I know people can be stars in rehab, it's transitioning out, and I'm trying to create a virtual reality tool to help people do that. And it's working really, really well. And let me tell you why I'm not wanting you to go home with these people. Because you've done this time and time again, and you have failed. So why do the same thing over again? You are going to earn your way into this elite program. And here's how it's going to work. You guys are going to have to become part of this program. If you guys continue to do what you do, it won't matter what I do. Here's how this is going to work if you're going to take you want my help?
I do.
Number one, there has to be total transparency. Total transparency. You have to have permission. Give yourself permission, she gives you permission, total transparency. Don't kick her out today. She didn't follow your rules, you didn't enforce your rules. Both of you failed in that regard. Total transparency. You don't drink in their house. Go home, get rid of all those bottles. You have to submit to random drug and alcohol tests by them anytime. They are going to be my surrogates as alcohol and drug police until further advice, okay? I'm going to get you a personal trainer, I'm going to get you a life coach, and I'm going to get you a therapist. And you are going to get real busy taking pride in yourself again, and you're going to roll out of bed at 8 o'clock in the morning, and you're going to be on a track at 8:30 somewhere, and you're going to be working out with a personal trainer probably twice a day. And you're going to see a therapist on a regular basis, and you're going to be drug and alcohol tested. And if you do what I want you to do for 30 days, then you will go with these people.
Awesome.
Okay?
Awesome. Thank you.
We can do this. All right? Okay. All right. Make sense? Okay. All right. To find out more about this virtual reality program I'm talking about and where it's offered, you can go to dr.phill.rehab, and you'll have information there. I want to thank all of my guests today, especially Ann Margaret Carrozza, and especially my friends at Transformations Treatment Center, the Executive Vice President of Clinical Services, Dr. Maureen Esposito, and Medical Director, Dr. Jawad. Thank you for being here. I can't tell you how much you've helped. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.
Today on an all-new Dr. Phil. She played Carnegie Hall at 17, but now
my daughter was living on the streets.
Mom claims she's delusional.
Annika said that she was in a cigarette commercial.
I don't know. It looked like my hand. Does that make me delusional?
These are your notes that you've taken on her over the years. You've written every therapist that she's been to.
I have.
Some of them said you're the one that needs help, not her. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you.
Today we're talking to Marilyn, and she says that she provided a perfect, not good, but perfect childhood for her daughter, Annika, including Montessori school, softball, music lessons, and dance. And even though her daughter got great grades and played the violin at Carnegie Hall, Marilyn says she began to notice disturbing behavioral issues and has been begging for help from teachers, therapists, doctors, social workers for years, because she claims her now 31-year-old daughter is mentally ill. Now, Marilyn wrote to me, SOS, help, 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 because she can't understand how her beautiful, smart, talented daughter could now be homeless, delusional, and according to Marilyn, on the verge of a psychotic breakdown. Take a look.
I need help for my daughter now. She is most definitely heading towards a psychotic breakdown. I have reached out to dozens of doctors for many years. I've written to Dr. Phil at least 10 times, and these are the most recent. First set of letters that I wrote to Dr. Phil, I had a lot of SOS, SOS, because Annika was living on the streets. She would ride the bus at night to stay warm. I didn't even know where she was. I put in missing person reports. She stole bicycles and people's dogs. I know I'm a very good mother. For Annika's whole life, I've been trying to get her help. I have been keeping these folders on Annika since she was small. I have filed folders on therapists and what they've said. I have a timeline. As a child, Annika was a very smart student. She played violin in an advanced youth orchestra, which went to Carnegie Hall when she was 17. But by 18, she had been kicked out of her sorority and had failed college. She started doing meth at 19. She was arrested for shoplifting, had an abortion, stole a car, and was robbed at knife point. Annika has been beaten, robbed, and raped multiple times. Within the last 3 weeks, she said, "Mom, you have to call the police. Someone is robbing your house. His name is Geronimo." There was nobody there, and it was all a figment of her imagination. Annika is completely delusional.
Okay, it's good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
And you really wanted to be here.
Oh my goodness, I've wanted to be here for a really long time, yes,
And
absolutely.
tell me why here instead of somewhere else, because you've written lots of doctors, lots of letters.
I've written lots of doctors, lots of letters. Since Annika was about 8, she's been going to some form of therapy, and nobody has been able to help. She's going to be 32 in a couple of weeks, and it's just going on and on and on. And I'm really desperate.
You say she's been beaten, robbed, and raped multiple times.
Yes.
Is that true, or that's what she says?
No, that is true. And she's gone back to the same people over again. She's been held at knife point. She's been held hostage in rooms. She was kidnapped by a woman that was trying to groom her for prostitution. She's been dumped in gas stations in the middle of the night. I mean, it just goes on and on and on.
Okay, but why do you say that she has a mental illness? Because if those things are true, then you would first go and assume that she has an adjustment reaction to so much trauma in her life. But you have said that she's had problems since really before she was born, even in utero. But you said at birth she had a misshapen head, she was dropped on her head, that she's had problems since literally the moment she was born.
Yes, yeah. Thank God I never drank, took drugs, or even any medication when I was pregnant. But about 6 months when I was pregnant with her, they said that her brain wasn't growing properly. Then she was born 2 weeks late, and cesarean, and I had gone in for a stress test. And they said that the stress test showed that the umbilical cord was wrapping around her neck, and I had to go in for an emergency C-section. So sometimes I wonder if maybe her blood supply was cut off for just...
Well, but didn't you have a brain scan and all when she was first born, and it all came back normal?
As far as I know, it came back normal, but that was in '86, and I don't know what kind of technology they had then.
Well, why would you assume that it's not good enough technology?
Why would
you
assume
question that if they gave you a normal finding, why would you question it was not right?
Well, she never crawled. There was just developmental milestones that she didn't pass. She never crawled at all. She didn't walk until she was 2.
Well, she's walking now.
Oh, she's walking fine now, right. I know it. I mean, she caught up with all those things, but she was very late. She was...
So if she hit those benchmarks late, but she hit them.
Right, absolutely, thank God.
Because you can close developmental gaps, and she apparently did.
Yeah.
You said she played violin at Carnegie Hall, that she went to school, that she...
Right, and she had a really privileged life.
Why do you assume that there were these things wrong when in fact she has achieved much in her life?
Well, she has, but she hasn't. When I put it all together, there is something majorly wrong.
Well, you said you think that right now...
Consequences mean nothing to her.
At one point you said you thought she was on the autism spectrum.
I did.
And now you think she has borderline personality disorder.
That's right.
And you gave a list of things that you say indicate that she's positive for borderline personality disorder.
Yes.
And these are the things you said at 6 to 7 years old, she could not understand the moral to certain stories, and that's indicative of borderline personality.
Right. Well, I didn't think that then, but I questioned it.
Well, no, now.
But now I do.
You think that's indicative
because she still
of
doesn't get the moral to the stories.
Okay.
I mean, not Aesop's fables, but the morals in life. I mean, she goes back and does the same things. Consequences, she'll have very severe consequences. She'll get thrown out of a car, and she goes back to those same people again.
Okay, so she fails to generalize from one situation to another.
Yes, that's right, that's right.
Okay.
She's really good at learning by rote, really good. She's very smart, but she doesn't connect the dots.
Okay, and at 8, she was lying and exaggerating.
Yes.
And you think that's indicative of BPD?
Yes.
Okay. And teen, she copied peers' dress and mannerisms. So she was sensitive, subject to peer pressure.
Right. Right.
Okay. That she snuck out at night and was boy crazy.
Yeah, but that's typical teenager. And that's what
Well,
I tried to
that's not-
rationalize
You didn't
then.
list it as typical teenage. You listed it as indicative and in support of your diagnosis of borderline personality disorder.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
That's right.
And
Compulsive.
that she wouldn't
compulsive.
eat at the dinner table.
Right, right.
And she got kicked out of the sorority.
She had an eating disorder.
And she got kicked out of the sorority.
Yes.
And said the teachers were jealous of her.
Right.
And she wouldn't show up for therapy.
Right.
She missed her 21st birthday because she slept through it.
Right.
And she said rehab, that they wouldn't let her go to doctor's appointments.
Right.
So she was dogging on the rehab people.
Yeah.
And
She's been
told the
kicked out of
baby
4.
nurse that she had doctor's appointments when she was really going to get her nails done.
Right.
Okay. And then she lies. She's like a real liar, right? She's lied about vandalizing the car,
Right.
smoking during pregnancy,
Right.
said that you were abusive
Right.
as a mother.
Right.
She lies about belongings and money that she's stolen, stole money right out of your purse.
Yep.
That no one's in the room when she wasn't supposed to have anybody in the room, and she would.
Yeah.
And
Always pushing
attending
the
college
boundaries.
classes, she would say she's going to class, she wasn't really.
No, she didn't go to any of them.
And stealing jewelry, money, food, and then shoplifting.
Right, right. A lot.
And all of those things add up to what you consider to be borderline personality.
Yes, yes.
All right, well, when we come back, Annika says her mother has been sabotaging her instead of helping her. Well, it sounds like she's been working really hard to help her instead of sabotage her, but has it been filtered that way by Annika? She's going to tell us about that when we come back.
The only problem I have is a controlling mother, and she can't mind her own business. There's nothing wrong with me. In high school, she'd spend the day screaming at me for not following her rules. In my mom's mind, breaking rules meant I needed to go to therapy.
And later, these are your notes that you've taken
That
on
was
her
out-
over
yes.
the years.
Does that make me delusional?
You've written every therapist that she's been to, and some of them have actually said, you're the one that needs help.
When Annika was about 6 years old, I saw signs that she had serious problems. I was reading Annika Aesop's fables. They were written for children, but she would never get the moral to the story. Yet I noticed other kids her age got it in a second. Later, I understood that people that don't put together morals are a sociopath, and that concerned me.
Well, Marilyn says she's been begging for help from therapists, doctors, social workers, and would like for me to weigh in on it at this point because she says her 31-year-old daughter, Annika, is mentally ill and is in denial about her problems. Annika says her mother wants her to be sick so her mother can get all the attention. Take a look.
The only problem I have is a controlling mother, and she can't mind her own business.
This is a journal. It details where Annika has been, what a counselor has told me, or someone else that she's been in contact with.
Growing up, when my dad didn't get his way, he'd scream at my mother that she wasn't good enough. And then my mother took her anger out on me. She'd get drunk and she'd throw things at me. Her cups, beer, the glass. When I was a teenager, my mom got scared she'd lose control over me. My mother started being very controlling about food. When I would get hungry, she wouldn't allow me in the kitchen. I eventually started hiding food, and then I developed anorexia and bulimia. In high school, she'd spend the day screaming at me for not following her rules. She'd want me to go to bed early, but sometimes I had homework. She didn't care. In my mom's mind, breaking rules meant I needed to go to therapy. When I left and I went to college, I didn't stay in contact with my mom very much. So my mom would try to contact my teachers and my friends and anyone she could, trying to find out where I was at all times. I can take care of myself, but my mom doesn't like that. My mom thinks that there's something wrong with me today because she wants to have control over my life. There's nothing wrong with me.
Okay, Annika, it's good to meet you. You've been listening so far, right?
Yes. I am very enraged. She's been a very terrible mother, and she hasn't been there for me at all. I have had rough experiences. I have lived in places that she disagrees with. But when I call her, she's the last person that will come and help me. This is the first time that she's ever actually appeared for me to consider communicating, having any kind of open communication to work anything out.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question. Have you been attacked and beaten and raped on numerous occasions?
No. I have before, but not on numerous occasions.
Have you been raped before?
I have. I was raped. It was pretty bad. I found out I was pregnant, and I contacted my mother, and that's what I get for being stupid and being homeless and not having my family.
Well, I don't want to just
available for me.
gloss over that. I'm very sorry that happened to you.
Yeah.
Has that happened to you more than once?
It's happened twice.
When it happened, did you get help with that?
I got medical treatment. I had immediately wanted to make sure that I was okay, and my mother refused to allow me to get any kind of treatment, and she dropped me off at a rehab. That was I hadn't been using drugs, and I told her what happened, and she bribed me with a pile of clothes that she wanted to bring to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, excuse me for interrupting, but you know, Annika has told me in the last dozen years many times that she's been raped, robbed, and beaten.
You said, excuse you for interrupting. I don't think I will. I want to talk to her. She did say that she had been raped more than once. That doesn't seem materially inconsistent to me with what you're saying, but if you want to talk to her, you don't need me here for that. I would. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, like in your phlebotomy class that you were taking, for instance, they kicked you out because they said that the other students were scared of you, and you told me that the teacher was jealous of you and she conspired to get you out of the class because the kids were looking up to you.
My life doesn't consist of a bunch of negative things that continue to happen to me. She seems to make it seem that way. Terrified
Annika would
of her.
not follow the rules at home. We had very basic rules. The more she wouldn't follow the rules, the more I just made them into black and white. So it was very simple, like no food downstairs, no kitchen after a certain hour. I would find rotten food in her room all the time.
I wasn't allowed to eat in her house, so I would eat after hours.
Food was a huge problem.
Literally, she has a line in her house, and she has like this piece of silver thing, and there's a wooden floor, and if I go across that line, then I would get in huge trouble.
She'd run away. I mean, when she played at Carnegie Hall, the night after the concert, she disappeared. I didn't know if she ran into the streets in New York or where. It's like she didn't have any common sense.
Can I jump in for just a second?
Please.
And then y'all can resume. Having just sat back and listened to this right fighting, I don't ask myself why this relationship is broken. I ask myself why not. Coming up, Annika says her mother used to get drunk and become violent. Marilyn didn't mention that. I mean, did she have a drinking problem? Did she, in fact, put down markers in her home that her daughter couldn't cross? We'll ask her about those things when we come back.
When Annika was taking a course 4 years ago, she was taken out with police escort because the other students were afraid of her because she was mumbling to herself and not making sense. However, in Annika's eyes, the other students looked up to her and the teacher was jealous and conspired to have her kicked out. I'm really at my wit's end. Annika's father abused her in a sexual manner. Annika's father had MS and he needed to use a condom catheter to control his bladder. I came home one day when Annika was about 8 or 9 years old and saw Annika help her father with his condom catheter.
One time no one was home and my father asked me to help him. Nothing inappropriate ever happened.
I believe that this sort of abuse affects Annika even today.
My mom overreacts and she exaggerates everything.
You're really full of contradictions in the things that you say. You say she had a normal childhood, but then you say she was sexually molested by her father. That's not normal.
I'm in a normal childhood on the outside.
Okay. And you say that she didn't follow rules, and so you just had to get black and white and put down markers that she couldn't cross in the home?
I don't recall that specifically, but it was rules like no kitchen after 8 o'clock at night or something.
Well, you made a list of what you you say were her questionable behaviors that you listed as evidence of borderline personality, and now here are some others. You said she was kicked out of 25 residences and has no home, that she gets money for disability, has no job, a drug history. She's been 5150'd, which is involuntary commitment 3 different times. She's physically abusive. She's around abusive men. She's lost her baby to CPS, doesn't even know the father's phone number, and told a social worker she can't stand crying babies, won't admit to having mental health issues. And all of these things you think are evidence that she's mentally ill.
Right. She's also been very delusional.
And you kind of take her inventory in terms of questionable parenting, because according to you, you say she's had you in therapy since you were 8, that she's been verbally abusive in the 6th grade, telling you that you were mental, broke bookshelves, doors, yelled, hit, threw cup at you, got drunk frequently, no kitchen when you were hungry, lies, makes up stories, letters, exaggerates things to everyone, just over-involved and overreactive to everything.
I won't take her inventory, but if you look at all these, issues that she has with me, that's not helpful. It's very scattered. It's all over the place. It's not, this is the first time that she's considered sharing any of this information with me. She's continued taking notes and more notes. Before I was born, she was, she would take lots of notes and wasn't sharing that with me. And none of this stuff seems to be of importance to her. She never mentions any of these issues to me. She never, she won't go to therapy with me.
Because you slapped me across the face 3 times?
You dropped me off and you threw all my belongings outside, and I told you I was not ready to go to a shelter because I had been raped and I would like to deal with that first.
These are your notes that you've taken on her over the years?
Yes, those are my notes. I mean, I started taking journals about her because I never knew if she was going to be dead or alive. She was held at knife point. She was hanging out with guys.
Yeah, we went over that.
Yeah.
I've never seen any of this.
I didn't know if I was going to find her again, so I just started taking notes. Last night, Annika called me and she said the Dr. Phil crew filmed me for a cigarette commercial.
You thought we made a commercial with you.
She really is delusional, Dr. Phil.
My mom sabotages me. If I stay at a shelter, she'd rather call and tell them all the quirky things I did as a child than actually help me out with a place to live. After someone was violent towards me and I needed a place to stay, she wouldn't let me stay with her. When I was in recovery and I wanted her to go to the Al-Anon meetings, she wouldn't go. My mom likes to talk about helping, but she's not helpful.
She really is delusional, Dr. Phil. I mean, she has said that a boyfriend she hasn't seen in 8 or 10 years, that he had something planted in his brain and that he's been talking to her brain.
Is that
Oh, no. Come on, Annika. You just told me that.
No.
You haven't told her
said
that.
anything to her.
Dr. Phil?
You never told her that.
I haven't said a word to her.
Do you think that I would make something like that up?
I don't know what you heard me say, but it wasn't that.
Last night, Annika called me and she said that she was in a cigarette commercial and for me to turn on the TV quickly because it was going to be on in a few minutes. And so I turned on the TV and sure enough, there was a cigarette commercial and Annika said that that was her. And I said, how did that happen? And she goes, well, the Dr. Phil crew filmed me for a cigarette commercial.
Well, they don't advertise cigarettes on television. So how did you turn on the television and see a cigarette commercial?
Okay, well,
they don't advertise.
It wasn't a commercial for the sale of cigarettes. It was something about maybe not to smoke or something, and it showed this woman's hand going along a fence, and that's what Annika said. It was her hand.
Okay. Did you tell her that?
I did.
Why?
That it was to.
She just said cigarette commercial.
Yeah, it was a cigarette commercial, and.
So how did that
took her
happen?
about
When did
5
they
minutes
film
to
you?
Try to figure out about
Why did you tell her that?
I don't know. I
Well,
was
no-
wearing a shirt that looked like the shirt. I was running my fingers along a fence, and they were taking some photos, and I saw that on TV.
So you thought between the time our crew was shooting with you and that night that we took those images and created a non-cigarette commercial and put it up on channel 45? Is there a channel 45?
I don't know, it was MTV, whatever that is.
And so you thought we made a commercial with you?
I don't know. It looked like my hand, and I hadn't seen that commercial before. I don't know if it was my hand or somebody else had their hand on the fence. And I don't know.
Well, you knew enough to call your mother and tell her, hey, I'm in a commercial on TV.
So is there an issue with me contacting my mother to tell her something like that? Does that make me delusional? Who's watching TV?
Well, it seems rather illogical that you would think that, A, we shot a commercial with you when you know we didn't, and B, that we would turn it around and put it into a commercial in that short period of time and not tell you about it, and
They turned it around, I didn't see it.
C, put it on television. I mean, do you really think that's how that works?
I don't know. Possibly.
Coming up, why did CPS take Annika's newborn baby away from her 6 months ago? And what does she have to do to get it back? We'll talk about that next.
I was told by CPS that Annika went in for a wellness check, and when she got there, the doctor said that the baby hadn't gained enough weight and was being hospitalized. So Annika stayed there for a couple of days, and she left the baby unattended, apparently, according to the nurses and doctors, and she went out and had her nails done and went and picked up a coloring book and crayons because she said she was bored. Annika is on the edge of psychosis. She's vandalized my car, she bent the antenna, she pulled off the gas tank, she put mud in the locks and broke the windshield wiper. Yet she flat out denied that she did any of those things. She also has a rage problem, and she has slapped me across the face several times. She has broken into my home. The police found in her backpack my shoes and a substantial amount of money that she had gotten out of my purse. But the very worst part is that Annika thinks she's perfectly normal and that nothing is wrong.
Well, Marilyn says her 31-year-old daughter doesn't have a radar for danger. So when CPS took Annika's newborn away, Marilyn was really relieved because she thought the baby would be safer in someone else's care at that time. Take a look.
The only thing I want right now is to get my baby out of foster care.
6 months ago, Annika had a child, and it was taken away from her by Child Protective Services within 6 days.
I was staying at a shelter and I couldn't provide the baby enough formula, and my body wasn't producing enough breast milk, so my baby lost weight.
They said that Annika was sleeping all night and not waking up to feed the baby. I was told by CPS that Annika went in for a wellness check, and when she got there, the doctor said that the baby hadn't gained enough weight and was being hospitalized. So Annika stayed there for a couple of days, and she left the baby unattended, apparently, according to the nurses and doctors, and she went out and had her nails done and went and picked up a coloring book and crayons to bring back to the hospital because she said she was bored.
Instead of foster care, CPS told me that my mom could take custody of the baby, but my mom refused.
I said, absolutely not. She would leave me with the baby and she'd go off, and then everything would be my fault because nothing is ever Annika's fault. I think the best situation for the child would be to be adopted into a loving family.
If my mom really wanted to help me, she would help me bring my baby home.
Are you ready to have this baby back?
I'm very much ready to have this baby back, and all of that is a lie. That's all out of order. That was incorrect information, and you don't care enough to even hear what I have to say. You want to put all of this on TV, and I stayed in the hospital with her the entire time that she was in the hospital. The only time I did leave, I went to Walgreens and I got whatever it was that I needed, some Tylenol, and I got myself a coloring book because I was spending all that time in the room and with the baby.
Honey, this is totally beyond my control. CPS came in and said, we are watching you while the baby is hospitalized for not being weighing enough. The doctors and the nurses.
You said that I left her in the hospital and I went and bought a coloring book. That's what you said.
That's what the doctors and nurses had said.
They've been very specific about the requirements for you to get the baby back, and that's good news because you have a formula.
Right.
you have a formula to get the baby back. And one is to accept responsibility for your actions. Obtain a stable residence. That you got to have a place that is yours, that's stable day to day to day. That you have to have a psychiatric evaluation so the social worker can look at it and see that you are predictable, that you continue your counseling services, that you go through parenting education, that you subject yourself to substance abuse testing on a random basis, and that you do inpatient substance abuse treatment program and receive a positive evaluation from that, that they say, you know, she's done what she needs to do in that regard. So you have a formula, a checklist, and right now, if we go through and grade that paper, the only thing that right now that's a green check mark here is substance abuse testing. The rest of the things are on your to-do list.
When I found out I was pregnant, I immediately went to a program, not for drugs or alcohol or anything like that, but I was homeless. And I knew that if I was pregnant, I couldn't be in the street, I couldn't stay with my mother, I couldn't, my family, I can't,
She didn't know that she was pregnant until she was court ordered into rehab for drugs. She's not telling the truth.
So you feel like in order for me to get the information I need, you need to be an appendix to what she said. You need to add additional information.
I just want the honest to God truth to be out.
And you don't trust my ability to suss out where she is and what's there, because you've written every therapist that she's been to, right?
I have.
And some of them have actually said, you're the one that needs help, not her.
One of them did, right.
Coming up, is there over-involvement here that has become toxic? We're going to talk about that when we come back. I believe that your daughter does have some mental and emotional challenges, and they're way above your pay grade. So the good news is you need to take the year off.
Okay.
Really. And I said, I think you're well-intended. I really do. I'm not trying to put you down about this. I think you're way over-involved. I think you're creating more problems than you're solving. And I think I think old sayings get to be old sayings because they're profound. And you say she doesn't get the fables and all. Well, you need to get this. You sometimes hear people say, yeah, she knows just enough to be dangerous. You know just enough to be dangerous. You go take you're a weekend warrior. You go take a weekend class in BPD, and then everybody you see's got BPD.
I hear that.
It's above your pay grade in that you're not trained to be diagnosing her, and therefore, and you writing these therapists. I tell you, if I was in private practice for years, if I got these diatribes from you, I'd just put them in the paper shredder and I'd turn around and talk to my
But she
my
doesn't say
patients.
anything when she goes.
Well, but here's the but. The but is you need to understand, I don't need you to tell me how to work with somebody. Because
But if they don't come at all,
then I can't work with them. But if they do, I don't need you to tell me how to interview them. I don't need to tell me how to get to the bottom.
I know. I guess I am
of
just desperate.
things.
I'm desperate.
Yeah. You have a daughter that you want to get back into your life, and I want very much for you to do that. I think you have a drug history that has disrupted you developmentally, and I think you need some help with that. And I want to do two things with you, completely separate from your mother. I want to get you some professional help in two ways. I want to get you a professional therapist that has no contact with your mother. And then secondly, and separately, I want to get you a life coach. I want to get someone that will sit down with you and assess and evaluate all of your strengths, all the things that you have going for you, and start putting together an action plan for you to get some traction in your life where you can really have some independence, where you can get a job that you can stay with, where you can get a place to raise this little girl, so you can really start getting back and using the intellect that you have and the skills that you have. Because when you do things like call and say, hey, I'm in a commercial, then that's a real fleeting touch with reality. That's not rational thinking. And the therapist will help you with that. Maybe you need medication, maybe you don't. That will be up to them. But then I want you to have a life coach so you have somebody to help you get a plan and get some traction in your life. And I think that in a very short period of time, the world's going to look a whole lot different to you. And I think you're going to earn that little girl being back in your lap. And that's what I'd like to do. I don't want to criticize you, I just want to help you. Okay? All right. Fair enough?
Oh, thank you, Dr. Phil. Thank you.
All right, coming up, the worst thing a mother could imagine happened in her own backyard. That story next. A child is the greatest loss anyone can ever experience, the death of a child. Anytime you grieve a loved one, it's going to have an impact. Now, my next guest, Debbie, lost her youngest son, Tony, 7 years ago in such a tragic way that the grief is still overwhelming. Here's Debbie's story.
It hurts most to see when he's very young. My youngest son, Tony, was cleaning our pool and drowned. I can remember my husband calling me, and then he said, Tony is gone. I dropped to the floor, and I just started screaming, my son has drowned. When Tony died, a piece of me went with him. I miss hearing Tony laugh. I miss him saying, hey, Mama. I'll always cry, but I'll always have his love in my heart and those wonderful memories forever.
Well, Debbie is joining me along with our very good friend and Chief Medical Officer of Pfizer, Dr. Frida Lewis Hall. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Debbie, I'm so sorry for your loss. And one thing you'll not hear me say is I know how you feel. Tell me how this affects you still today.
Well, you know, Dr. Phil, there's a sense of me that I still feel robbed. I didn't get to say goodbye to Tony. I didn't get to tell him that one last time how much I loved him.
Dr. Frida, how do people deal with this level of grief?
Yeah, first of all, people should know that this is highly individual. This is specific to you, the way that you're going to grieve. And that there's no single right way to get through this grieving process. And many people think that that's true, and it's just not. Yeah. The other thing that's really important is people don't know some of the emotions that are going to come at them. It may be a whole range of them, everything from anger to denial to shock to depression. And these emotions can come at you in any order and at any time.
Yeah. You know, most people are able to endure a tragedy and eventually get to a new normal. But what about those that can't seem to get there?
Estimates are that about 10% of people who are going through grieving end up having a more severe form, something that we now have come to call a complicated grief or grief depression. People who are experiencing this may have more severe symptoms and for an extended period of time. Things like extreme sadness, feelings of isolation, feelings of depression. They may feel hopelessness. In addition to that, they may take on an irrational blame for the death or the loss of their loved one. And other symptoms may include sleep disturbances, an increased use in tobacco and alcohol, and difficulty in functioning in work situations and social situations, with relationships, and sometimes even in tasks of daily living like getting to the grocery store. Many people who grieve have a sense that maybe I don't want to go on without my loved one. I've lost my will to live. But people with this complicated grief may have persistent thoughts of suicide. It's important, if those thoughts occur, it is time to get immediate help.
Well, I also understand there can be physical effects associated with particularly this prolonged grief.
A study suggests that someone who has had a significant loss of a loved one has a 21 times greater risk of having a heart attack in the first 24 hours after the death of that loved one. Yeah. And another study suggests that there's an increased risk of heart attack and stroke in the first month after the loss of a loved one.
What are some strategies for dealing with grief?
So I think one of the most important one is knowing that you are going to work through some pain. The second would be that some of these emotions that we talked about are going to be coming at you at different times and in different ways, and they may quite take you by surprise. You should also know that you're going to uniquely work your way through this. No one is going to tell you exactly how to do it because it's going to be different for everyone. And then last but not least, there's a point at which you can and should ask for help. If your grief is too deep or overwhelming, as you described, or if the experience is lasting too long. And then the other thing that I think is really important is not forget that physical part. Talk to your doctor about the fact that you're grieving. Ask them to help you monitor any medical conditions that you may have. Stay on your prescribed treatments and medications as your doctor is supporting you too. And then don't forget the basics. I know they're hard to think about at a time like this, but eating right, getting as much sleep as you can, and trying to stay as active and get a little bit of exercise to try and stay healthy during this time.
For many people, it's hard to accept that a future without your loved one is your new reality. Support groups and professional counseling can be really valuable. Grief is not a mental illness, but if you're struggling with it, don't hesitate to ask for help. And a place to start, in my opinion, is gethealthystayhealthy.com. Robin and I love this website because it's trusted information on so many topics.
Of course, while you're there, you can sign up for our monthly newsletter, and some of this helpful information can come right to you.
I want to thank all of my guests today, especially our friend Dr. Frida Lewis Hall, and thank you for sharing your story. If you'd like to be part of our studio audience, the tickets are free. Just go to my website and click on Get Tickets, or you can call 323-461-PHIL. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much. All right, thanks so much.